My beloved child, pause your hurried steps for a moment, because what I desire to place within your heart now may become the light that helps you recognize the direction you have been seeking for so long. The fact that you have stopped before these words is not merely a random moment among the countless things passing before your eyes. Some encounters last only a few minutes, yet they are powerful enough to awaken a decision, heal a weariness, and transform the way a person sees the entire road ahead. Therefore, I want you to listen with calmness, not because you should fear losing something, but because you deserve to step out of the uncertainty that has covered you in recent days. For too long, you have lived among unanswered questions, doors that suddenly closed, and silent intervals that made you believe you had been forgotten. But, my child, silence does not mean absence. And what has not yet been revealed does not mean that nothing is being prepared. I know there have been nights when your body lay still while your thoughts continued to race. You wondered why you had tried to live sincerely, and yet the results had not appeared. Why you had asked for a way forward, but saw only more limitations before you. You watched others move ahead and quietly questioned whether there was still a portion reserved for you. Today, I want you to release that comparison. You are not delayed simply because another person's journey appears to be moving faster. You have not failed merely because what you hoped for did not arrive according to the time you had calculated. What belongs to you must meet you when you are discerning enough to recognize it, steady enough to preserve it, and mature enough not to lose yourself in the midst of change. For this reason, there are doors I do not allow to open too early, not to cause you pain, but to protect you from entering a place that looks radiant while being incompatible with the peace I am building within you. Being chosen does not mean that you will always walk upon smooth roads. On the contrary, it often gives your life a clearer direction and causes every decision to carry a deeper meaning. You can no longer live merely by habit. Follow every voice that calls to you, or strive to please everyone. There are things others can easily overlook that you perceive with great clarity. There are places many people consider ordinary, yet something within you warns that you should not remain there. This is not weakness. It is discernment being sharpened through every experience. Yet to hear that guidance, you must learn to slow down. When you are constantly rushing, the noise of anxiety will cover the gentle voice of wisdom. When you make decisions only because you fear being left behind, you may choose what is immediate instead of what is right. I do not want you to live as someone who continually chases opportunities. I want you to become someone quiet enough to recognize which opportunity truly belongs to you. The uneasiness you have felt during this season is not always a sign that you are moving in the wrong direction. Sometimes it is a reminder that you have outgrown your former space, that what once satisfied you can no longer nourish the growth taking place within you. You feel confined because I am expanding your vision. You can no longer easily accept insincere promises. Relationships that appear only when others need something from you, or work that drains you without giving you a purpose in which to believe. What you once called normal has now begun to trouble you, not because you have become difficult, but because you have learned that peace should not be exchanged for things whose season has ended. I know, leaving what is familiar makes you afraid. But sometimes familiarity is only a dark room in which you have remained so long that you have forgotten there is still light outside. Therefore, what I ask of you now is not a dramatic action, but honesty with yourself. Look again at the reminders that have appeared repeatedly. Is there a decision you know you must make, but continue to postpone because you fear how others will react? Is there a boundary you need to establish, but keep leaving open because you are afraid of being misunderstood? Is there a habit that is stealing your time, focus, and joy, while you continue convincing yourself that it is harmless? Important changes rarely begin with a great noise. They begin when you stop betraying what you already know to be right. When you dare to say, "This is enough," to what is exhausting you. You make room for restoration. When you dare to leave a path that no longer fits, you create space for a new direction to appear. When you stop seeking approval from people who have never understood your worth, you begin to see yourself through more compassionate eyes. I also want you to stop doubting the significance of your small steps forward. You often believe that only an immediate transformation means your prayer has been answered. But many great shifts begin in silence. An old thought gradually loses its power over you. An insult no longer provokes the same reaction. A person who once had the ability to destabilize you can no longer control your emotions. A failure that once made you want to surrender now causes you only to pause, learn, and continue. This is evidence that you are growing. Do not despise the victories no one can see, because a strong foundation is always built before the house becomes visible. I have seen every time you tried to rise again. Every time you chose silence rather than responding in anger. And every time you continued believing in tomorrow, even while today still held many shortages. Not one of your sincere efforts has been forgotten. You are now standing near a new threshold. But to cross it, you must release the urge to understand everything immediately. Not every question will be answered before you act. Some answers appear only after you take the first step. You may not yet see the whole road, but you have enough light for the next part of it. Do what you know must be done today. Complete the unfinished work. Speak an honest word. Rest when you are tired. Refuse what diminishes your dignity. And return to the values you once neglected. Do not wait until you feel completely confident, because courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing what is right, even while your hands are still trembling. I am not asking you to be perfect. I ask only that you walk with an upright heart and remain willing to correct your direction whenever you realize that you have strayed. Do not keep this light only for yourself. Somewhere, there may be a weary person who feels as you once felt. Someone standing before a difficult decision who needs to be reminded that they have not been forgotten. When you share an encouraging word, extend kindness, or give someone hope, you do not diminish what has been given to you. You cause goodness to spread. Yet remember that helping others does not mean carrying all their responsibilities for them. You can love while still maintaining boundaries. You can forgive without returning to the place that wounded you. You can wish someone well while still choosing to walk in another direction. Kindness does not require you to abandon yourself. From this moment forward, stop calling yourself delayed, left behind, or incapable. You are being prepared in ways deeper than your eyes can see. The difficult days have taught you to distinguish promises from actions, outward brilliance from lasting value, and temporary emotion from genuine peace. The losses that once caused you pain have also revealed a strength you did not know you possessed. As you enter this new season, you are no longer the person you were at the beginning. You have become more discerning, more steadfast, and more capable of honoring your own worth. Keep your heart tender. but do not return to naivety. Continue to love, but do not allow anyone to turn your kindness into a place they may enter carelessly and disturb at will. I want you to remember this final truth. You do not need to chase the future in panic. What is right for you will not require you to lose your peace in order to keep it. The right door will not demand that you diminish your worth before you may enter. A sincere person will not force you to prove repeatedly that you deserve respect. When clarity appears, you will recognize it because it will not merely excite you, it will also give you an inner sense of steadiness. Let your agreement be expressed not only through words, but through the way you live from this day onward, more calmly, more sincerely, with greater discipline and deeper trust. I remain beside you in every small step. Every time you must begin again, and every season in which you cannot yet see the outcome. You have not been forgotten. You are being led out of the shadows and into a season in which what once confused you will gradually become clear. Rise, my beloved child, because the new direction begins the moment you choose to listen and refuse to turn away from the deep calling within you. When someone places profound trust in you, it is because they have recognized within you a rare and precious quality, sincerity that does not easily change, strength that does not need to display itself, and the ability to remain standing even when circumstances become severe. I know you have looked upon yourself with doubtful eyes. You have wondered whether you were wise enough to make the right decisions, strong enough to protect what matters, or resilient enough to endure the trials waiting ahead. There have been days when the responsibilities placed upon your shoulders seemed too great, while your hands appeared too small to support them all. But, my beloved child, hear me speak with tenderness and certainty. You are not present in this situation because of a mistake. You have been prepared through many seasons, shaped through what once caused you pain, and matured through the times when you were forced to continue, even though no one offered you encouragement. You often see only the times when you were exhausted, but I see how you still completed what needed to be done when your heart was nearly depleted. You remember the moments when you hesitated, while I remember every time you chose what was right instead of what was easy. You think your silence has had no meaning. Yet within those quiet spaces, others have seen your composure, self-control, and depth. They have not merely listened to your words. They have observed how you behave when no one praises you, how you treat those who are vulnerable, how you keep your promises, and how you refuse to allow bitterness to transform your heart. These seemingly small things have quietly built a strong foundation, showing others that you are not someone who will flee when the storm arrives. Therefore, do not view the trust placed in you as a burden intended only to test you. See it as confirmation that the qualities I have cultivated within you are beginning to be recognized. Perhaps that person has not yet found the courage to tell you how deeply they need you. Perhaps they continue smiling and living as though everything is normal, while inwardly they have already chosen you as the one to whom they can return when everything becomes chaotic. They have seen you remain calm while others became confused. They have watched you refuse to judge before understanding the entire situation. They have recognized your ability to listen without making others feel condemned, to speak the truth without using cruel words, and to protect someone without becoming a person who harms others. It is this balance that has caused their trust in you to grow day by day. Yet I do not want you to believe that you must become perfect because of this. Being trusted does not mean you can never feel weak. rest, or admit that you also need support. True strength is not found in hiding every wound, but in honestly recognizing your limits and coming to me before you are completely depleted. You have not been called to become the answer to every need. You need only remain faithful to the portion placed in your hands. Do not allow kindness to make you carry responsibilities that do not belong to you. And do not let compassion cause you to solve every lesson that others must learn for themselves. You may stand beside them, illuminate a path, offer encouragement, and provide a safe place. But you are not required to take every step on their behalf. What I desire from you in this season is an awakened presence. There are moments when a person does not need a grand answer from you. They only need to know that you will not abandon them while they are afraid. A peaceful gaze, a sincere word, or a silence filled with understanding can sometimes bring more healing than a long explanation. Do not underestimate the influence of the peace you carry. When you enter a place with clarity in your heart, those who are confused will gradually begin to recover their direction. When you refuse to react hastily to chaos, you give them an opportunity to breathe slowly and see the situation through different eyes. This is the quiet strength I have placed within you, a strength that prevents darkness from controlling the atmosphere around you. Perhaps you will ask why this responsibility has come at a time when you feel unprepared. But, my child, very few people feel completely ready before stepping into a meaningful task. Readiness does not always appear as a brilliant sense of confidence. Often, it is only a quiet agreement within the heart. I will do what is right, even though I am still afraid. That choice is what creates courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is refusing to let fear make your decisions. Each time you continue in faithfulness, what once made you feel uncertain will gradually become ground upon which you can stand firmly. One day, you will look back and realize that the responsibilities you once believed you could not carry helped you discover a strength you never knew you possessed. The disturbances taking place around you are not meant to destroy you. They are revealing what is true, distinguishing those who come to you for convenience from those who genuinely honor your worth. Pressure does not create character. It reveals what is already present. When everything is easy, anyone can appear patient, generous, and loyal. But in hardship, only those with a foundation can remain unchanged. You have lived through enough to understand that the loudest voice is not always the most trustworthy. The person who promises the most is not always the one who will remain. And the easiest road does not always lead to the best destination. This discernment did not come from theory. It was formed through the times you fell, rose again, and learned to look beyond appearances. Therefore, when that person turns toward you, do not immediately consider yourself unworthy. Receive their trust with humility, neither exalting yourself nor diminishing your value. You may say that you do not know every answer, but you will be honest. You may admit that you cannot control every outcome, but you will not act deceitfully. You may not see the entire road, but you can still hold the lamp of faith for the next step. Sometimes people do not need someone who knows everything. They need someone who will not betray the truth when pressure increases. Through the way you have lived, you have already shown that you can be such a person, while you are helping them. I am also using this connection to help you see yourself through new eyes. As you witness others placing hope in your steadiness, you will gradually understand that your quiet years were not wasted. The times you had to learn patience, the nights you lifted yourself up again, and the moments when you chose forgiveness instead of bitterness are all beginning to bear fruit. You once thought you were merely trying to survive a difficult season, but I used that season to train you to become someone capable of carrying peace for others. What caused you to weep yesterday may become wisdom that helps you wipe away another person's tears tomorrow. Remember that this turning point does not belong only to the one who needs you. It is also a doorway into a new level of maturity within you. As you respond with discerning love, you will find your voice becoming steadier, your intuition becoming more refined, and your decisions becoming calmer. You will no longer be so easily shaken by doubt or by the temporary opinions of the crowd, because you are beginning to understand who you are and what has been entrusted to you. Yet even as you become stronger, preserve your tenderness. Do not let responsibility make you harsh. Let it make you deeper, more willing to listen, and more aware that behind every person's reaction is often a story you have not yet heard. My beloved child, do not turn away now, simply because you fear you may not do enough. You do not need to carry out everything perfectly. You need only move forward with sincerity, wisdom, and integrity. Let your words bring life. Let your presence carry peace. And let every decision arise from love with healthy boundaries. When you do not know what to do, pause and listen to me. When you feel overwhelmed, lay down what does not belong to your responsibility. When doubt returns, remember that you did not come this far by accident. I preserved you through difficult days, taught you through every experience, and made your steps steadier after every moment of instability. Therefore, enter this season with a peaceful heart. Someone is placing their trust in you. But more importantly, I know what I have placed within you. I see the strength you have not yet recognized, the wisdom you often underestimate, and the faithfulness you have demonstrated through things few people know about. What you do next truly matters, not because you must save everyone, but because one sincere action from you may help someone remember that they have not been abandoned. Remain in clarity. Hold firmly to what is good, and do not underestimate your role. You have been placed here to become a source of support, but also to understand that you yourself have a foundation that will never be moved. I am with you, guiding you and reminding you that the trust placed in you is not a mistake. You have been prepared for this moment, and you will pass through it with peace, discernment, and the gentle strength I have quietly cultivated within you for a very long time. A gentle calling has reached for you many times, but because you have been so occupied with the sounds around you, you have not truly stopped to listen. It has not appeared with noise that startled you, nor has it forced you through violent events. Instead, it has moved softly through the moments when your heart suddenly grew quiet, through an unexpected thought that caused you to reflect, and through an unnamed feeling, as though someone were reminding you that it was time to look more deeply at the road you were walking. Many times, I have placed this prompting within you, not to make you anxious, but to prevent you from wandering too far from the goodness waiting ahead. Yet whenever you sensed that invitation, you told yourself that you would listen another day, when the work had lessened, when your mind was calmer, or when circumstances became more favorable. My child, what is important does not always wait until you feel ready. Some doors open only within a particular season, and the key to entering is your complete presence in this very moment. I do not say this to frighten you, but to help you understand that today is more precious than you realize. You often believe you still have plenty of time to change. Pray, return, begin again, and repair what you have delayed. But time is not an endless storehouse from which you can take whenever you desire. Each day given to you is a gift with its own rhythm, invitation, and purpose. Once that moment passes, it will never return in exactly the same form. Therefore, I am gently drawing you away from unnecessary distractions so that you may recognize what is happening within you. A quiet movement has begun. Some of the things for which you once prayed are gradually finding their way toward you. Certain answers have not yet appeared as words, but they are already being arranged through your perceptions, encounters, small changes, and the prompting that no longer allows you to feel at peace while continuing to live as you did before. You once asked me for a clear sign, a certain direction, and confirmation strong enough to silence your doubt. Yet when that sign began to appear, you became afraid that you had misunderstood it. You wondered whether it was merely a passing emotion, whether you were convincing yourself to believe in something unreal, or whether someone like you could truly be led towards something greater. I know these questions. I know they were born from the times when you hoped and were disappointed, when you trusted but did not receive the result you expected. Therefore, I do not condemn your caution. I only ask you not to allow old wounds to become a wall that prevents you from seeing what is new. Not every inner prompting is trustworthy, but you have been given the ability to recognize the difference between a chaotic thought and a reminder that brings clarity. What comes from the light will not drive you into despair, fill you with pride, or force you to act in confusion. It will lead you back to peace, responsibility, honesty, and courage. Therefore, when you sense something calling you to live with greater awareness, kindness, integrity, and purpose, do not dismiss it too quickly. Pause long enough to ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Perhaps it is reminding you to leave a habit that has been draining your strength. Perhaps it is time to establish new boundaries with people who continually make you question your worth. Or perhaps I am inviting you into a new direction where you cannot yet see the entire road, but have already been given enough light for the first step. You do not need to understand every detail before you begin obeying what is right. A person who walks under guidance is not someone who knows everything in advance, but someone who recognizes which step must be taken today. I see that you have become accustomed to waiting for dramatic signs. You believe that if something is truly important, it must arrive like a storm that shakes everything, through an event so obvious that doubt becomes impossible. Yet many of the most precious things come quietly. A seed makes no sound as it opens beneath the soil. Dawn does not need to shout in order to drive back the darkness. A decision that transforms an entire life sometimes begins with one honest moment in which you stop deceiving yourself. I often work within such silence, because when the noise decreases, you can finally hear what haste has hidden. Therefore, do not despise the small moments when you suddenly desire to pray. Forgive, correct a wrong, rest, or leave an environment that is no longer right for you. These promptings may be the first threads I am using to weave a new chapter in your life. Some people travel very far without ever truly knowing where they are going. They pursue what everyone else pursues, choose what everyone else chooses, and stop only when they have become completely exhausted. When they finally look back, they realize they had stood near an important door many times, but turned away because it did not appear impressive enough. I do not want you to carry that regret. I do not want you to ask one day why you refused to listen when your heart was being reminded. Why you continued delaying when you already knew something needed to change. Or why you kept waiting for another confirmation when what you needed was already before you. Because I love you, I am calling you back to awareness, not so that you will live in tension, but so that you will live with open eyes. Honor what is taking place, and refuse to let an opportunity pass simply because your mind was distracted. Understand that your attention has more power than you realize. Whatever you continually set your eyes upon will gradually occupy your heart. If you focus only on fear, every road will appear dangerous. If you look only at your failures, you will believe the future can do nothing but repeat the past. But when you choose to notice the signs of growth, the doors beginning to open, the healthy people appearing in your life, and the goodness being formed, you will begin to understand that I have never abandoned you. Change often begins long before you can see its result. Roots grow in darkness before branches and leaves appear beneath the sun. In the same way, there are things I am cultivating within you that others cannot yet recognize, and even you do not fully understand their value. Therefore, stop running from the feelings that need to be faced. Do not fill every empty space with noise merely because you are afraid of hearing what is hidden within you. You may sit quietly for a while, breathe slowly, release the pressure, and honestly look at what needs to be healed, changed, or chosen. I do not demand that you become perfect in a single day. I ask only that you stop avoiding what you have known for a long time. One sincere step today can bring you closer to freedom than 100 promises reserved for tomorrow. Begin with the smallest thing you can do: an apology, a decisive choice, a timely rest, a healthy refusal, or an action that agrees with the person you are being called to become. I am nearer to you than you realize. And this reminder has not come to confuse you, but to help you remember that your life is entering a season that requires awareness. What lies ahead will require you to discern carefully, preserve your peace, and value every small guidance you receive. You do not need to rush, but neither should you continue delaying. Walk with steadiness, listen with a humble heart, and let each day become a sincere response to the love guiding you. When you become fully present, you will realize that what you have been seeking is not as distant as you once believed. It has been standing at the doorway for a long time, patiently waiting for you to stop turning away and become courageous enough to open your heart and receive it.